I feel like you just touched on that you was doing everything you could to be there for me. And I feel like, hindsight is 2020. So when I look back at it, I realized that I wasn't there for you as much as you was there for me. Because I've always had this protective mentality when it came to Leah, where I didn't want her to know, what was going on. Mm-hmm. I didn't want her to know the grown-up business. Like when I was growing up, my parents, they had their issues, but we never knew about it.
Right.
Like as kids, we never knew the grown-up business because they kept that between them. And when Leah got diagnosed with cancer, before Leah even got diagnosed with cancer, like Asha said, there was a lot of issues between her and Leah's mom. And Asha was on the receiving end of a lot of those problems. But I would always tell Asha, like, chill, like don't say nothing, don't do nothing, just ignore it. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I was doing the right thing during that time because I was trying to diffuse the situation because I just wanted everybody to get along, but certain people just didn't want to get along. But hindsight, I could see that I was basically saying that your feelings didn't matter. Mm-hmm. And while I was doing everything to protect Leah, I wasn't protecting you enough. And I even did that to myself. Because if you followed our story, when Leah first got diagnosed with cancer, like it just really blew up. And, a lot of the media was following us and they were, talking about me as a father in the public. And I remember it was like one night I had flew back to Cincinnati because I was just in Philadelphia because Leah was getting chemo done. So I flew home after one of our games and I stayed with her for a couple of days and then I had to fly back out to Cincinnati for practice. And I remember me and Asha was like going to bed one night and I had just checked my phone and I went on Twitter and my Twitter was like blowing up and I'm like, what done happened now? Like, why I'm getting all these notifications? And then I saw something like Deadbeat and I'm like, what? Who did they accidentally mention the wrong person in this tweet? So I click on it. It's like a article from the New York Post. And it was saying that I was a deadbeat dad that doesn't pay child support. And it was for, I think the lawyer's name was Gloria Allred. She was like one of those top lawyers, little dirty lawyers. I think she did. Goodness. Yeah, she dirty. She did like Bill Cosby case and all this other stuff. And she was like putting out stuff that I was a deadbeat and I wasn't paying child support, that I didn't take care of my daughter. They sent letters to the NFL, like trying to get me fired. And I talked about this in my book. Go cop that book, Still in the Game, Find the Faith to Tackle Life's Biggest Challenges. Plug. But I talked about in the book because during this time I didn't really open up about it. But a lot of people thought that I couldn't focus on football just because of what Leah was going through. But a lot of it had to do with my issues with her mom as well. But I remember they were saying I was a deadbeat. And my heart dropped when I read this. I'm like, yo, why would you say this about me? Mm-hmm. Right? So I remember going to the stadium the next morning. As soon as I walked in to the stadium, like 20 reporters just swarmed around me.
They wanted that story.
Yeah, mind you, I'm heated. I'm angry because I'm like, I know this ain't true. Yeah. Like deadbeat, that don't even go in the same sentence with me.
Yeah.
Right? So I got swarmed by reporters and I remember sitting down in a locker and I'm about to just go off. I'm about to just tell the whole truth about everything. But something was like, man, you can't allow your daughter to see this. Mm-hmm. Like, don't, no matter how mad you are at her mom, don't come at her mom because at the end of the day, her mom is half of her. So if you come for her mom, you coming for her because she is her. So I just wrote up something. I made a statement to the media and I just said, look, regardless of what is being said about me, I'm not going to handle this in the media. Like this is a family matter and I'm going to continue to handle things in court like they've been handled. Like I took the high road because I didn't want Leah to look back at all the good she did from battling cancer by raising awareness, by helping out families, and see that, man, look what my family's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm the cause of this. I wanted her to just see the positive side of stuff. So I took it on the chin. I was like, I'm tough enough to deal with this, right? Because I know that the truth will prevail eventually. And it did. But for that moment, I realized what I was doing to you. Like, because it didn't feel good to shut up and not really stick up for yourself and speak out about yourself. And I realized, man, I should do this all these years, and now I'm finally getting a taste of it.